the more I walk, the more I come to the realization that walking really can be the cure for a lot of things, a lot of your problems, a lot of your intrusive, self deprecating, negative, depressing thoughts of you can't do versus you can and you will. This is what I'm finding out in my journey of wellness, nutrition, health, intermittent fasting, all the good habits. You gotta love this cameo appearance. That's the blueberries, defrosted fruits that I was eating earlier as I broke my fast. And the irony, the irony of this video, it says about unfiltered as this gets. Unfiltered, get it? See, this is a fresh t-shirt. I was at a shoot today for a commercial and a film. And the night before, my girlfriend and I hung out. It was date night. We had a great time. But I went into this shoot today with a hangover, a little bit of a hangover. And I don't drink, mind you. It's been a while. So we had a few and capped it off with a Patron shot towards the tail end of the night. But no regrets because we were due for, a couple's night. But now it's back to business. And so I showed up, got some work to do, going back tomorrow for a second back-to-back shoot, revisit some of what I did today. But when I saw this stain on my shirt here, as I was on the verge of taking my daily steps, my procrastination was horrible. Like, it was almost paralyzing because I haven't had enough sleep. I have a slight hangover, which is now finally fading away. But also, I was looking for an escape to rest, to sleep, and to not do a video. And I came across a couple of channels today that talk about just continue posting, keep posting. So that's what I will do. I'll keep showing up and I'll keep posting. I'm not really, looking for much else outside of that. Although when I started this channel, like every YouTuber, right, we dream about subscribers and views and monetization. But man, you guys that are doing reasonably well hit the nail on the head. Is there's a lot that needs to happen, and it can happen quickly if you're consistent. You got to show up. And so, here I am showing up and I'm walking. And where I'm going with this video is, once again, is that you just got to get up and do some of the things that you don't feel like doing. And I know, I personally, though, there's a lot of folks out there struggling, especially during this winter arc period. We're going into Halloween, to the holidays. So we're kind of late into the game here in the year, very late if you haven't shaped up. You basically use the last 2 months of the year here, 2.5 months, to really dial in to your habits and try to fast forward much of this as you can. All of this takes time. You could get a six-pack in 2 months, very possible, but it's going to be hard, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve. Look at the skies behind me. This is why I'm so thankful to have this walk, because when I come out here and do this, it's amazing. On the other side is the Las Vegas mountains. I'm walking on the terrain. It's very peaceful, and I'm all over the place with my thoughts because this is very therapeutic. You can get caught up with nature as you do this, and it's healing. If you're in the middle of a conflict, an argument, sometimes you can save yourself a very toxic response. Sometimes you can avoid the mistake of playing someone else's toxic games, whether it's your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-girlfriends. In my case, I had a couple. Conflict with your brother, conflict with your mother, father, best friend, co-workers, boss, you name it, acquaintance, networking event. business, pleasure, blackmailing, whatever it is. Point is that you want to clear your head. A lot of times we are in our own way, in our own heads. I am very much in my own head most of the time. And a lot of my cloggedness, the clogginess, all the mental pipeline, a lot of the things that I think about negatively, it's basically me versus myself. A lot of these intrusive thoughts fade away like dust. You have to visualize the end goal of the walk, the pleasure you derive from actually doing versus procrastinating and thinking, what if only. I'm capturing such a beautiful sunset right now. Whenever I go into post-production to finalize the video, the edits are becoming less and less. I'm okay with my mistakes and being improper, even if it means I have a blueberry stain here after I broke my fast today. I'm human. I'm just human. I don't have any of this figured out, man. But I know that I'm still way better off right now versus me just rotting on my couch, trying to catch up from the sleep that I was deprived myself of from the night before. Today was auditioning with my casting director for a couple of roles in LA and a Las Vegas commercial here. So it's not the final cut, but it's the audition tape that will be submitted to the actual producers of the film and commercial. So it would have behooved me to get some rest, but you got to balance your love life and your passion, your work life, your career, your YouTube. This should be for most of us second nature, and for those that are procrastinating, obviously I'm not in any position to advise you on what to do, what not to do. But I will say this is that I thank the YouTube community that's out there preaching and pushing new YouTubers to get out there and just post. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it for. You may have disappeared for a while and not posted. It's okay. You can make ground real quickly. Some people like to have it scripted, structured. I recently have come to love speaking right from my heart, like this blueberry stain once again. You can see how much this is bothering me. And this stain almost is the very reason why I almost entrapped myself at home. If you're wondering why I always shoot here, is because this particular spot in Henderson, Nevada, where I live, is very like, it's a zone, it's a vibe. I love this place. I talk my best in this trail. And I love, there's something about the crunching sounds of the rocks in the fall season as I walk. I love to hear that. Although I very easily could be walking on pavement, but that kind of takes away that flavor, that vibe, the feeling, the aura of fall and just sunset. And just, I like to feel grounded. I like to feel my feet sinking in the rocks and finding my balance. Is also really good for your core, your back, your finding your balance, mobilizing your joints. But again, you can see I'm all over the place. All of this becomes okay. My problems, as long as I have my health, right? That's the biggest thing, is if you can control your health. I mean, no one's perfect, including myself. I have some ailments from my joints. Nothing crazy, like I can still move, I can still dance, still do martial arts, all of the above. I stretch. But, there's wear and tear of combat sports and impact sports, and I have some nicks and tucks, but these things are relatively small in the bigger picture and scheme of things. Because if you've showed up today, if you want to get in shape, simply showing up and just doing this will get you there. You need your mind, spirit, to drive the body in that sort of particular order, but the body doesn't go until the mind says go. So in your mind, you may have all these plans and a vision of how your walk would look like, you know, what you may feel, but none of this occurs until you push yourself here, and then you take the necessary steps, literally take the necessary steps to move forward. As I say, fail forward, figure it out forward. You know, I ended off on this note is that I went into this script today for let's just say a medical role. I have an NDA in place, so I cannot disclose that fully, right, until I get the job role. Disappointed that I didn't nail it is because I didn't memorize the lines. It's a read that you have to do sideways, like you're talking to someone, my counterpart. What I found out is there were a couple of other people within my same circle, radius here in Vegas, that are auditioning for the same character. Two of these people had nailed the memorization. They had memorized the lines. I know I can do better. When I have my lines memorized, there's no stopping me. I know it. This is why I'm right now. I'm in the lead role for this film here being shot in Nevada. The theme of that is, you know, a young guy chasing a cougar. It's got a mystery kind of behind it. So I'm one of the leading candidates to get that role. So it's not over. So there's a lot to do. I had memorized that and I nailed the audition. This year today, one of my acquaintances who I met, he's a little bit more advanced than I am in terms of his experience in acting, basically said that, hey, this is you can't come in here and not have this memorized. Even if the email instructions said to memorize, you don't have to memorize it, because you can technically read the script below and talk to the other person. It's a surgical room, so you're looking all over the place, and you're looking at the person. You figure A, figure B, and you can cheat by eyeballing the sheet, but nothing puts you in the driver's seat of knowing your lines, knowing your ish, and then acting natural like you've been doing this for a long time, because the role is of a doctor, right? And so doctors are very natural in how they diagnose the murder scene. You gotta kind of sell what that you know what you're talking about. And so I was disappointed, but the good news is that I spent this entire walk reading the lines, not being hard on myself, being kinder to myself. Now I have it all memorized. I texted my casting director that represents me, said, I'll see you tomorrow. Let's do this. Let's run this back. Now, caveat, I had a really good take towards the end. I stayed on set, memorized all the lines. I nailed it. But I can take it a notch higher, because now I'm very comfortable with the lines. So this is all in the span of 24 hours. All of that, I say all of that and tell you that story to say this: none of that is possible if I didn't come to see the sunset, chase the sunset, take this walk, clear up my mind, my hangover subsiding. It's a very nice temperature context. Texture-wise, it's just amazing right now. Now I'm about to head back home. I'm done with this video. Walking helps cure anxiety, folks. This is all it is. It's anxiety. That's all this is. It's anxiety. Pent-up thoughts, inaction, you're not being true to yourself. And walking is a gift you can give your body. One of the best gifts and exercises you can give to your body. Look at me, I'm feeling so much better, mentally uplifted, and I got a good night's rest and kill my class tomorrow in audition. I have to submit 3 videos. So follow my journey. All my links are posted in my YouTube description. I love you all, and even if you're not a fan of me, I still love you because you watched it. So thank you. Next one, Mamba out.